from shadows to light. Zena stood at the edge of the bustling market, her heart heavy with despair. The rain began to fall, mirroring the tears streaming down her cheeks. She had been cast aside by the man she thought loved her, left to bleed and cry in the dirt. "You're nothing," he had said, his words cutting deeper than any physical blow. Stumbling away from the memories, she splashed through puddles, each step a reminder of her worthlessness. Yes, she collapsed behind a stack of discarded boxes. The world around her faded. Just then, a sleek black SUV pulled up, and a man stepped out, his polished shoes glinting in the dim light. He approached her, concern etched on his face. "Who left you here like this?" he asked, kneeling beside her. Zena could barely meet his gaze, trembling with fear and shame. "Who did this to you?" he whispered, gently wiping the blood from her lip with a handkerchief. She wanted to answer, but the words wouldn't come. Instead, she closed her eyes, surrendering to the warmth of his presence. He lifted her into his arms, cradling her as if she were precious. "You're safe now," he murmured. And for the first time in a long while, Zena felt a flicker of hope as the SUV drove away from the market. Zena's mind raced with questions. Who was this man? Why did he care? He introduced himself as Ethan, and over the next few weeks, he provided her with food, shelter, and kindness. Zena watched him from a distance, curious about his life. He never spoke of his past, but she could see the shadows in his eyes point one evening. As they sat together on the balcony, Zena mustered the courage to ask, "What do you do, Ethan?" He paused, looking out at the city skyline. "I used to sell water on the streets, but I learned to see people, their struggles, their pain. I wanted to help." Zena felt warmth spread through her chest. "You've helped me more than you know," she admitted. "I don't deserve his kindness." Ethan turned to her, his gaze intense. "You deserve more than kindness, Zena. You deserve peace." His words wrapped around her like a comforting blanket, and for the first time, she believed them. As the days passed, Zena began to heal. She found joy in small things, cooking meals, tending plants, and laughing at Ethan's silly stories. But the past still haunted her. One night, she heard a knock at the door. Her heart raced as Ethan answered it. It was Ina, the man who had discarded her. He looked rough, his clothes tattered, eyes pleading. "Zena, please forgive me," he begged, falling to his knees. Zena felt a surge of anger. "You left me when I had nothing. Now that I have everything, I choose peace. And peace doesn't include you." She turned away, walking back to Ethan, who stood silently by her side. In the weeks that followed, Zena blossomed. She embraced her new life, volunteering at a local shelter and sharing her story of resilience and hope. "You can rise from the ashes," she told others. Ethan watched her with pride, often marveling at how far she had come. One evening, as they sat under the stars, Ethan took her hand. "You become a beacon of light for so many, Zena. I'm grateful to have you in my life." Zena smiled, her heart full. "I couldn't have done it without you, Ethan." As their relationship deepened, Zena found herself falling in love with Ethan. He was everything she had never known she needed. Kind, patient, and understanding. One day, while walking to the park, Zena spotted a small boutique. "Let's go in," she suggested. Inside, she found a beautiful light blue dress. "I want to wear this," she said, holding it up to the mirror. Ethan smiled. "You deserve to feel beautiful." He purchased the dress, and as she slipped it on, she felt like a new woman. But as she admired her reflection, doubt crept in. "What if I'm not worthy of this?" she whispered. Ethan stepped closer, wrapping his arms around her. "You are worthy, Zena. You fought for your happiness." His words washed over her like a soothing balm. As the seasons changed, Zena embraced her past, transforming from a girl who once lay in the dirt to a woman who stood tall. One evening, Ethan turned to her, his expression serious. "Zena, I want to ask you something." He reached into his pocket, pulling out a small velvet box. "Will you marry me?" Tears filled her eyes as she nodded. "Yes, 1,000 times, yes." Their wedding was a simple affair, filled with love and laughter. Zena wore the light blue dress, feeling like a queen that as they exchanged vows. Zena looked into Ethan's eyes, seeing the promise of a future filled with love. "I choose you," she whispered. And as they sealed their vows with a kiss, Xena knew she had found her home in Ethan's arms. Years passed, and Xena became a beacon of hope in her community. She organized workshops for women who had faced similar struggles, helping them find their voices. One day, she received a message from Mia, the young girl she had mentored. "Xena, I'm graduating high school. I want you to be there." On graduation day, Xena sat in the audience, tears of joy streaming down her face as she watched Mia walk across the stage. After the ceremony, they embraced tightly. "Thank you for believing in me, Xena," Mia said. "You showed me that I could rise above my circumstances." Xena smiled, her heart full. "You did this, Mia. I'm so proud of you." In that moment, Xena realized her journey had come full circle. She had not only healed herself, but had also helped others find their strength. Xena and Ethan continued to build their life together. They faced challenges, but remained each other's rock. One evening, Xena turned to Ethan. "Do you ever think about how far we've come?" she asked. "Every day," he replied. "I'm so grateful for our journey. You created a life filled with love." Xena leaned her head on his shoulder, feeling a sense of peace wash over her. Xena had transformed from a girl who had been discarded to a woman who had built a life filled with love, purpose, and resilience. She had discovered that true strength lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we do. With Ethan by her side and their children in their hearts, Xena knew they could conquer anything together as the years rolled on. Xena became a beacon of hope in her community. She organized workshops and support groups for women who had faced similar struggles, helping them find their voices and reclaim their lives. Her story resonated with many, and she became a source of inspiration for those who felt lost and alone. Ethan stood proudly beside her, always encouraging her to share her journey. "You have a gift, Xena," he would say. "Your words can heal. Your story can change lives." And she believed him. With each workshop, she saw the transformation in the women who attended. They began to smile again, to dream again, and to believe in themselves. One day, as Xena was preparing for a particularly important workshop, she received a message from Mia, the young girl she had mentored years ago. "Xena, I'm graduating high school. I want you to be there." Xena's heart swelled with pride. She had watched Mia grow into a strong, confident young woman, and now she was ready to take on the world. On the day of the graduation, Xena sat in the audience, tears of joy streaming down her face as she watched Mia walk across the stage. She felt a sense of fulfillment, knowing that she had played a part in Mia's journey. After the ceremony, they embraced tightly, both of them laughing and crying at the same time. "Thank you for believing in me, Xena," Mia said, her eyes shining with gratitude. "You showed me that I could rise above my circumstances." Xena smiled, her heart full. "You did this, Mia. You fought for your dreams. I'm so proud of you." In that moment, Xena realized that her journey had come full circle. She had not only healed herself, but had also helped others find their strength. As the years continued to unfold, Xena and Ethan's love deepened. They faced challenges together, from sleepless nights with newborns to navigating the ups and downs of parenthood. But through it all, they remained each other's rock, always finding solace in their love. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching their children play in the yard, Xena turned to Ethan. "Do you ever think about how far we've come?" she asked, her voice filled with wonder. Ethan nodded, a smile spreading across his face. "Every day, I'm so grateful for our journey. You've turned your pain into something beautiful. Xena, you've created a life filled with love." Xena leaned her head on his shoulder, feeling a sense of peace wash over her. "I couldn't have done it without you, Ethan. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over their home, Xena knew that she had found her place in the world. She had transformed from a girl who had been discarded to a woman who had built a life filled with love, purpose, and resilience. And so, Xena's story continued, a tale of hope, healing, and the power of love. From the shadows of her past to the light of her future, she had discovered that true strength lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we do. With Ethan by her side and their children in their hearts, Xena knew they could conquer anything together.